Oi, oi. So we've got 3 different cables from around the world. We've got one, which is the main one that we use in Australia. I've got some Romex, which is what they primarily use over in the US. I think over in Canada. There's a few different types of Romex, and I think Romex is just the brand, so I'm just going to be calling it by that. And then we've got some, which I was sent by someone over in Ireland, and this is LSF. So all 3 are a little bit different, but very similar. I'm going to show you guys the differences, the similarities. I'm going to use quite a few different strippers and see how these work on the cables. And look, I'm not judging. I've done videos in the past for the Romex and I got quite a lot of backlash. Even though I wasn't even judging it, I was just talking through the way it was made and the differences. And also, if you have some different cable, you're in a different country or even a different field to what I am, then hit me up. Let me know if you've got any cable that you can send out. Happy to pay for the shipping and for the cabling. I am chasing more different cable because I do love to delve into this, see how it's different and see what you guys are using. So I'll start off by showing you what we primarily use. This is used for your normal power, lighting, in your switchboards, for control wiring. It could be for almost everything. And this is called TPS, thermoplastic sheathed cable. So you can see you've got the 3 conductors inside with the 3 different colors, and then you've got the white outer sheath. So I'll pull that back. I'm just going to use this stripper. This is a pretty basic stripper. Nothing too fancy. It does do the cable quite well. You can see that we usually do run with red, black, and earth. With black being the neutral, active being the red being the active, and earth being the green and yellow. Now if I strip that back, we are running with stranded. Right there you can see you've got 7 cores, and they're all exactly the same. They've all got those same cores in them. We don't run much solid core anymore. We used to. When we get down to 1mm cable, we do start to use it a bit more. And you can see with it being stranded, it is very flexible. This stuff I have found, that was the first thing I found compared to the other 2, was just the flexibility is really insane. So anyone that's using any of these other cables over in the US, Ireland, UK, I would imagine you getting any of this stranded, that would be the first thing that you'd notice. So then we've got the Romex, and this is a TPS as well. This is made of the same stuff, and it is a little bit different. I found pretty much the whole way that it's made. You can see that they're not quite placed in there exactly the same as this one. This one's a little bit more structured, I would detail it as. You can see these are just sort of sitting in there, move around a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. Once again, it's just a point of difference. And I have found that the outer sheath on this is a lot easier to strip. Like very, very easy. I wouldn't mind trying a few different methods actually. Just with the pliers, you can see it just pulls off quite easily. A lot of people are probably yelling at me for using pliers on it. But then you've got the paper or cardboard on the inside. Some people have told me in the past that this is fireproof or fire retardant, but it definitely isn't. That catches on fire. I've done a video on that before. You can see there you've got the 3 different cables. Once again, you've got the black, and hit me up if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you guys use this as active, which is what really confuses a lot of people when they see our terminations with the cable. So ours is negative and yours is positive with the black. We do still use white, and we do use white as an active. Usually it is a switch wire. So we'll run out a twin, which is a white and red. It'll go out to a light switch. The red is the hard active, and then the switch wire, which comes back to the light, is the white. So yeah, there you go. So you've got the earth, which is solid core. Used to run or work a lot with that when I was an apprentice, but definitely not for a long time now. And then you've got the sheath on the cable, which I find really very easy to strip. It's quite nice to strip actually. You can see how solid that solid cable is compared to the stranded. And then obviously the big difference with the flexibility. It's really interesting to use because it's just so foreign. You can see you can put it into all sorts of shapes very easily. You can do the same thing with our TPS, but you can see it wants to sort of move around, go back into shape a little bit. It's just not as rigid as this. So then we've got the LSF. This is also, no, it's not a TPS. It's a type of PVC, I believe. And I think they use it to lower the amount of smoke that comes off it when it's burned. So we have some cables that are like that, but they're definitely not like this type of cable. And so it is very similar to our TPS. You're from a shot like this, you almost wouldn't actually tell. I hope you can see that on the video. Very similar, but this is laid tighter around the cables, whereas like this is loose, if you can see. And that's why it's a lot easier to strip. The guys hate stripping this, and I do too. It's very hard to do it the normal way. With some strippers, it's not too bad, but yeah, you can see it's almost like sort of glued all the way around, and there's no gaps at all. There's no air gaps. So if I was to try to strip it like I normally do just with pliers, like I'll show you on the normal TPS, normally just go around a little bit and there you go, you're done. Nice and easy. You can then do the inner, exactly the same, nice and easy. So we'll try to do the same thing. Don't know how much I should bring it. But that, like, you're just not going to get that at all. That's hilarious how hard it is. Like, you can't even really banana it. Oh, you probably could. It's probably not good for it, is it? Because it's a solid core. And then even then, so that's what we call bananaing, because you're just splitting it. So you just grab one of the pairs or one of three cables and pull it back. So you can see it's way easier. And if you wanted a nice little cut, you just put that around there, pull that back. Got a nice little strip. But yeah, you're not getting that with that. I think a lot of the guys say they use the knife, if that's right. I'm not sure which knife you're using or how, but I guess if you get in there, probably take a bit of practice and you might have a certain knife. We don't use knives for our cabling. Unlike the US, I know the US guys are definitely doing that. So that definitely works. Never tried that in my life. Especially on the LSF. This stuff, you could just see, it's literally like, just hard. It is like PVC. It's like your PVC piping. Yeah, that's crazy. So we'll get rid of that. We're just gonna hack it at this stage. There we go. All right, similar, 3 cables, but once again, 3 different colors. So we've got the blue, which is your neutral, your brown, which is your active, and then your earth, which is obviously the green and yellow. So if we strip those, that's pretty straightforward. I'm not recommending using your pliers, especially on these. I'm not used to really using it on that, so just doing it to show you. I'll take you through some of the strippers and we'll see how they go in a minute. But there you go, you can see, very rigid. What's it look like next to the, yeah, it's almost identical to the Romex. So let's use a few strippers. How good are they? Absolutely. They're just good. Let's use some strippers and I'll show you the differences on the cables, because I do like some on this. I've used one I think, on this. No, maybe 2, because the knipex definitely doesn't work. But we'll go to the TPS. Let's give that a good chop. Let's go to these ones. So these are the knipex or knipex 12, 64, 180s. These are probably on their cheaper end. You can see there's no extras, and I can't remember how much these cost, probably 60, 70 bucks. Whereas you can spend $300, $400, $500 on some of the knipex strippers. I'd love to try them, but they're just so expensive. The good thing about these ones, which some others don't do, is you can see the cable goes all the way through. So if you want a longer strip, it does go all the way through. So we're not going to go too much, and then just do that. And you can see this cable sticks a little bit, but there you go. It does come off. I can't remember if it does the inner. I don't think it does. Oh no, there we go. It does do the inner. Does the inner quite well, actually. Doesn't leave too much of a mark on it, which is really good. I'll show that up a little bit closer. You can see, nice clean cut. It does a really nice cut actually on this TPS. And you can do all 3. Left that one, but yeah, you get the idea. So we'll give it a go on the LSF. No, I do have an idea if this works, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So we'll only do a little bit to make it easy on it. And like, I think I would break that if yeah, you can see it's definitely not going to work on that. So we'll go on the Romex. Very nice, very easy. So we'll do a little bit more. Here we go. Take that off. Works very well on that. So for these ones, which are just the cheaper Irwin strippers, I'm not a big fan of them, but I've never really been able to get them to work like nicely, you know what I mean, every time. Maybe it's just me. I have seen guys use these heaps. So yeah, definitely don't take my word for them. I see quite a few guys with these. And you can see that these sort of grab and pull apart, which is really cool. So I'll throw that in there. You can see that does that quite well. Nice clean cut. And then it should, there you go. All 3, nicely done. I don't think it's going to work on the LSF. I could almost guarantee it. Oh, look at that. You've got to put a fair bit of pressure on, but it actually does a very nice cut. Nice, clean. I wonder if you can do any more. We'll do the inner. Oh, I don't know if it can grab it. No. We'll do a little bit more. We'll do it. But it's not going to do. We've dialed it all the way up, so that's as tight as it goes. So it's not going to do the inner, unfortunately. That's a bugger. So we'll do the Romex. We'll definitely do that. Yeah. Too many cables. No, I think it's not large enough. There we go. It just does it, but it's not going to do the inner. That's very interesting, actually. I don't know if there's any other adjustments other than that dial. Nah, there you go. All right, next one. Well, we've got those ones open. So this one is the Wago AWG 32-5. It's a pretty pricey one. I think it's around $300 from what I remember, maybe $200 or $300, but it only does your inner. So, but it does do a very nice job. It is fully adjustable in a few different ways. It has got the cutter there, so you can cut, which is quite nice. So if you're doing a lot of the same length, it does a very nice Very nice job. So that's on the LSF. Then we go over to the Romex. Yeah, I would expect it to do the same job. Very nice. On the Australian TPS with the stranded. I'm pretty sure you can. Can you do 3? I'm pretty sure you can do 2. You can do 2. Then we got one of my favorites, which is the Vessel 3200 VA-1. And I've used this quite a lot. It is adjustable, which is good. The Fujiya one I did like. It's extremely similar. I don't know who came out with it first, but this one was better because you could change the depth, so you can do different size cabling. You can see it's got 2 little jaws in there. So this one is for the outer, that is for the inner. As you can see, you've got the 3 little teeth in there. So all you do is put that in there. And you can see why I like it so much. It is really quick, really easy, very, very clean. And then that fits into those little teeth. Very nice. So it works on that. I can't remember if it works on the LSF. I think it might. So this is the LSF. There you go. Definitely does. And then the inner, even easier. I think it almost, I don't know, it feels really easy on the solid. So we'll do it on the Romex as well. Pull back that. A little bit harder on this. Oh, there you go. A little bit of a mark on there. I wonder if you can get it to not mark. Oh yeah, there we go. Didn't mark that time. There's one last stripper I wanted to use. I haven't really used this much since I've got it. So this one is the Vessel DAK-1 stripping knife. It's a solid knife. It's got the dial there so you can lock it on. I think I've got that too tight. Oh yeah, dial all the way back. So it's a solid knife. It's not like your normal sort of cheap Stanley knife, but it's also got a little knife right inside there. Right inside there. You can see it's to one side. So the idea is that you get this. Which way do we go? That way? So that goes inside there like that. Then you just guide it down. You can run down a whole length, just like that. Which is pretty cool if you wanted to do that. And then we've got the LSF. I really don't think it's going to work. I think this is just too hard. So we'll throw that in. Exactly the same. Run that down. I think that's just going to blunt the knife. Oh no, it will work. There you go, it will work. So you use it on that. I'm sure, I don't know what it'll do with the Romex, only because it's got that cardboard in the way. Nah, piece of cake. Yeah, that works fine. There you go. Well, that's absolutely fantastic. The microphone wasn't working a lot of the time, but forgive me. And I hope you got a lot out of this. 3 different types of cable. If you do have any cable, hit me up. Glad to see what everyone else is using and show it. And if you got any other ideas, any other strippers you want to see, hit me up. Head over to doaddictedtotools.com if you want to support the channel. There's lots of tools over there, electric screwdrivers, bits and pieces, just all sorts of stuff. But also make sure to check out some of the other videos. Hit the like, subscribe, hit up the comments. It all helps me out so I can keep doing these videos. I absolutely love being able to do this and interacting with you guys. But until next time, I'll catch you later.